Hi, my name's Marion Rose and welcome to another one of my Aware Parenting series. And today I want to talk about one of the most powerful tools that we can use in Aware Parenting. And it's not really a tool, it's more of a way of really helping ourselves and our children actually prevent those challenging times of conflict. And also it's something that we can actually do when the challenges start to come up. It's such a beautiful thing. Now, Aletha Salter, who's the founder of Aware Parenting, she calls it non-directive child-centered play. And I call it present time, just for kind of brevity. It's kind of easier to say present time, so that's what I call it. So present time, or non-directive child-centered play, they're part of what's called attachment play. So this is a book by Aletha Salter called Attachment Play. It's me and my son on the cover from a few years ago. Attachment play is this beautiful way of helping prevent so many of the common issues and challenges we have with kids, such as them not wanting to cooperate and them running around just before bedtime, or hitting their siblings, or crying before school, or all those kinds of things that can really be so frustrating for us. Attachment play provides a way of really understanding why those things are happening and actually helping them really dissipate at the root cause. And that's because the root cause of most challenging behaviours in children are one of three things. One is an unmet need, that's often for connection and choice are two of the main things. The second reason is they have a need for information. And the third need is accumulated painful feelings. Now the second one, that need for information, is one we often think is the most important. So as parents, we'll often keep telling our children or explaining why we don't want them to do things. But actually that's usually the least important reason for children, because children so much live more in an emotional world. So for them, they actually want to cooperate, they want to connect with us, they want to give to us. And I'm sure you've seen that, when your child is just happy and connected in themselves and they're just delighted to actually cooperate with us. So it's really understanding that, just as those times when you've done things as a parent that you really regret, it's not because you didn't know that that wasn't a helpful thing for your child. It's not because you didn't want to be loving and compassionate. It was because the same reason for you, one of those three things was happening. You had unmet needs, or maybe you needed to learn something new about parenting, or maybe you were just so full up of frustration and sadness, and you just were really needing some more support and some more choice and some more rest. Just the same for our kids. They want to connect and cooperate. They want to be loving. They want to be gentle to their brother. They want to help us do whatever it is that we're asking them. They love and they thrive on being connected. It's when they're not feeling connected, when they've had so many different experiences of not getting to choose, and when they've got some painful feelings sitting right here, that in that moment when we ask them, come on sweetheart, come on, it's time to go, put your shoes on, or whatever it is, that they're not connected to that deepest self that wants to cooperate, because they've either got this need of, I really want to choose here, or this frustration of not being able to choose so often, which gets in the way of that natural desire to cooperate. And it's just the same for us. I'm sure you've had that experience where someone's told you to do something, or kind of go, right, you have to do that right now, and you kind of go, oh, like that. Whereas if someone to ask you in a really loving, connected way, and to ask you and to make it fun and enjoyable for you, I'm sure you would find that you might have much more of a desire to help and cooperate. So our kids are the same. So what has this got to do with present time? Well, what present time does is it helps fill up children's cup particularly for connection and for choice, and it helps them release and get to express uncomfortable feelings that are sitting around. It really gives them a space to do that. And what I usually suggest for present time is firstly to give it a name. So when we have enough resources, when you're kind of going, yes, I can be really present with my child now, and I can give them choice, and I can really cooperate with them, then set the time up and say, okay, sweetie, it's your present time, or it's your Emily time, or whatever it is that you want to name it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is setting a timer. And I know this might sound a bit funny, but I'm sure you spend lots of time with your kids already, and sometimes it might feel like you're just spending all your time with them. So setting the timer means for that period of time, whether it be 5 minutes or 15 minutes or half an hour, you know that it's just that amount of time that you can give your full presence and your full connection, your full adoration, and you know that at the end of that you're going to stop. And it helps us so that for that time we're not checking our phones, we're not thinking about dinner, or if we are, we're bringing our attention back to our child. We're not having a cup of tea, we're not kind of distracted on half a dozen other things, we're really fully present. So what that does is it fills up our children's need for connection and to really give them reassurance that we love them and we adore them and we want to spend time with them. And remember one of the root causes of those challenging behaviours. So when we're regularly doing that, and I really recommend doing this regularly. For me, if I do this every day with my kids, it just changes everything. I see such a difference. So even once a week would make a difference. If you could do half an hour once a week of this, or you can either pepper in 5 minutes when things are starting to get tricky in your family and you can see your kids are starting to get agitated. Putting in 5 minutes of this can make a big difference. The next piece of it is the choice piece, because during present time, you cooperate with what they want to do. So you're really following their lead. And beforehand, you might want to set up some limits. So you might say, what I usually say is no device time or screen time, whatever you call it in your family. No sugar and nobody getting hurt. So you may have different things that you want to kind of, again, set those boundaries. So within that time boundary and in that limit boundary, you're really willing to just go and kind of be the less powerful one for that amount of time. So of course, then that meets their need for choice and autonomy. So those are the two main needs, and they get those filled right up to the top. And the other piece is they'll often get to talk, they might play games. So say if there's been something going on with their sibling, they might bring in games around 2 trains or 2 puppets, or they'll bring in often in their play or what they ask you to do, which will help them actually heal from painful experiences so that those feelings get released. So that again, they're less likely to be full up of feelings, and they're less likely to be waking up at night or hitting their sister or not eating their dinner, all the things that we don't enjoy. So it's a magical thing, present time. It really solves things at a root cause. You can use it as a preventative, and you can also use it in the moment. And the magical thing about present time is that you can use it for specific situations as well. So for example, if you're just about to cook dinner or get on the computer and you have your child with you and you're really wanting them to kind of cooperate with you really and let you do what you want to do, then giving them present time first really fills up their cup for connection and for choice and for expressing their feelings, so that they're actually much more likely to be happy to go and do their own thing while you're doing what you want to do. It can be great before bed, it can be great before school or before playgroup or whatever it is that they go to, and again to connect again when you're reconnecting at the end of the day or whenever it is that you're picking them up again. So it's such an amazing tool. It's really like magic, and what I really recommend is just trying it out, just seeing how it goes, because often it's actually through trying it out and kind of tailoring it to yourself and your own child or your children that you'll find your own unique way of being with it. So if you've enjoyed this, I'd love it if you would like to watch some more, and you can also visit my website at marianrose.net and the Aware Parenting website, that's Aletha Salters at awareparenting.com. And please subscribe to my channel so that you can watch the rest of my Aware Parenting series, and enjoy present time.